Hello everybody, welcome back to Makeup and Advanced Cooking with me, Fritz. Today we are going to be here joined by Kasper and Scar. They're going to be helping with today's tutorial.
What's up?
Now let's get started. Okay, so first off we're going to start off with materialization. Materials, you're going to want to select any material you want for your base exoskeleton for the cave. And for your colors, I typically go for an orange because it gives you a bright outline. And for settings, you're going to want to go to first page in settings and make sure you have your position snap on 0.5, rotation snap on 15 or 5, uniform shape. Alright, starting off with second page settings, we're going to want to have your tube size to 25. You're going to want your fixed tube width to be on. Your connect nearby tubes is going to be on. Smooth tubes on. Tube height ratio at 100%. And your tube facets is optional for a 5 or a 6. I typically keep mine about a 5, but 6 works just as well. And that's it. Now let's get to building. Alright, so now we're going to start off with the building. Typically we're going to want to start off from a cave base or the cave entrance. So let's start off with making a little archway. I like to keep mine typically more natural in like an M shape, since caves never really have a natural feel to them. So there we go, we'd have our cave entrance right here. Now let's get on to the second part, which would be adding the back support. The back support would typically go from the top arch all the way back. Depending if you want a big cave ending, it'd arch up almost like a swiggle, so it would go from a low point, high point to an end point. Now that that's all done, let's start off with the cave base, which would be the flooring. You're going to want to start at the beginning of your M and circle almost all the way around from point A, from your angle, all the way to the back side of your little cave, and then circle all the way around to point B, which is going to be at the very end of your arch. And there we have it, we have the cave support part. Now let's get on to the second part. So the settings for this next part are going to look like this. You're going to want to go from your shapes page, select tubing. You're going to have dirt as your material, and you're going to want to go to second page on colors, and you're going to want to go to the very last page. The last page, we're going to select gray, so it's going to be that little darker tone. Go to settings, and then from here, what you're going to want to do is go to the first page. On first page, you're going to have everything just like this. Position snap 1, rotation snap 15, uniform shapes off. That's all you're going to really need to know. Second page, you're going to want to have your tube size on an 8 or 25. Particularly, you will like it on an 8. Fixed tube width off. You connect nearby tubes on. Smooth tubes on. Tube height ratio on 100%. Tube facets on a 6 right there. You're going to want to have those settings for this, and that's all you're going to need. So let's get right to building. Okay, so for typically this part, we're going to want to start off with our snapping on grid, and we're going to want to make a direct dotted line like this and continue it out until it makes at least a foot of fixed length right there. And that's all we're going to be using for this is going to be this. Now, you're going to want to move it directly to about in the edges of the corners of the cave. And now you're going to want to clone it all over. And there we have it. This is going to be the cave wall base, and this is all we're going to be doing. Now let's head to the second part. So for this part, we're going to want to start off with selecting tube, of course, then going to materials. The materials, we're going to want to select dirt, go to second, and then select brown on the very last page of color. Now let's get into settings. Go to the settings in the top right corner. On first page, you're going to want to have your position snap onto 1 or 0.5, rotation snap to 15 or 5. And this is all going to be all left off. Now let's go to second page, and then have your tube size to 8, fixed tube width off, connect nearby tubes on, smooth tubes on, and tube height ratio to a 10, and tube facets to a 4, and then that's it. So after that, you're going to have a little thing at the back of your makeup pen that looks like that. Now let's get into the building. So for this part, we're going to want to move it along the line fully, but carefully in as straight as we can line, with fully pressing down on the trigger. that will create this little line right here. And as soon as we see that little edge pivot right there, finally disconnect, we're going to want to let go of it slowly and then fully let go. That will create that little end joint right there, so where we can connect it again, and it'll be right at the exact same size. So now let's press fully down on the trigger once it's connected, and then continue on at least 1 or 2 joints. And there we go. There we have it. Now this is what we're going to do, is we're going to clone it up, then go back into our settings and recolor it 1 shade brighter. And there we have it. Now let's get the building.
What's up, everyone? Kasper here. So as you can see, the cave wall looks a little scrap right now. So I'm going to be teaching you guys the basics of detailing the wall. So for example, we have these right here, which is made out of tube, and it's going to be dirt, and the dirt is going to be bleeding through the wall. So what you want to do is clone it, and it's pretty simple. Rescale it, and off that rescale, you just start placing them right here near the back. You grab it, you clone, and you just start cloning it and placing it in locations that are somewhat random, but you think look nice. Just keep doing that. It's just a copy and paste progress. So right here, clone, clone. You might want to like differentiate, I don't know, hard word. And so I'm going to be grabbing it again, and I'm going to be rescaling it a little larger this time. And once again, you're just going to keep cloning and cloning and placing and placing. So I'm going to right there. And then we also have different colors, so I'm going to be using the same material, just a little smaller, and it's a darker brown with the material dirt. So I'm just going to rescale it a little bit, grab it, and you're just going to keep doing the same, placing it in random spots. So like around here. You can also feel free to manipulate, so I will be manipulating this part right here to be inside of the wall. Now you just keep grabbing it, clone, 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 place. It's a really simple process. Put it above you as well. And if you're going for more like wilderness style terrain for the cave, what I would recommend is grabbing I would make the material something like around the lines of carpet, so, and making it like a dark green. So it makes it look like grass is bleeding through. So as you can see right here, I'm going to be manipulating it and placing it very gently inside of the cracks inside of the cave wall. And so right here, I see it's standing up a little bit, so I'm just going to manipulate it, put it a little bit inside of the wall, and you're just going to keep wanting to repeat the same process until you're comfortable with how your cave wall is looking. So as you can see right here, the cave wall has a little bit of curvature. So a way to deal with that obstacle, so I'm going to be grabbing one of my assets right here of dirt. I'm going to rescale it, and I'm just going to want to move it very slightly into the wall. So I'd say like around so, and after you do that, I would use the manipulation tool, and I would just like gently grab the little blue dots and start placing them into the wall. As so. Sometimes tube can mess up, so you'll have to use the untool. And as you can see, we have a cave wall with dirt bleeding through.
Alright, hello everyone, my name's Scar, and I'm going to be showing you how to do stalagmites. So what you want to do first is you want to go down and lightly let go of your trigger so you get this nice point. And what you want to do is you want to go to your maker pen, and then you want to press scale, and you want to scale this up just like that. You want to press the button, and you can basically put it anywhere you want. And then all you got to do is clone it, and you got to make the size of it by scaling it down. And just put it here. And basically, that's all you gotta do, and you just gotta put it around the cave. And then what you could also do after you do that, you could clone the shape, right? And then you can recolor it with a different material. So what you want to do is you want to open up your Maker Pen palette, and you just got to go to Shapes, Materials, and then you could do it to, let's say, Carpet, right? Go to Colors, and then you can just change the color of it, right? Like that. Then you can move it into one of the stalagmites, and then you want to manipulate it. And then when you manipulate it, you gotta make sure some of it's overlapping another part of the stalagmite. And it's pretty much how you can create a nice, realistic stalagmite. So, yeah, I hope you like it.
Thank you all for watching. This was Make Fantastic with me, Scar, and Kasper. Thank you all for watching. It was an amazing time doing this for you guys. Hope you guys come back next time.